Okay, so this is the best defensive tactic I've ever made. If we look here, I kept 28 clean sheets in a season and conceded the least goals as well, only conceding 35. Now, just to clarify, I'm not sure this is the best tactic I've ever made, as if we come here, I scraped playoffs. But what I am saying is it is the best defensive tactic I've ever made. Now, getting into the actual tactic, it says 4-4-1-1. Going through, starting off with the keeper. He's just a standard goalkeeper. You could play sweeper, keeper, defend. It doesn't matter too much, either works. Anything after sweeper, keeper, defend, especially at this level, will probably give the ball away too many times for it to be good consistently. Now, both the fullbacks have pass it shorter and take fewer risks. This is just because to make a good defensive tactic in FM, it's basically just a possession tactic. You basically want a lot of players not taking a lot of risks. If we go to the centre backs, pass it shorter, take fewer risks. Both the wingers have their standard instructions on. The centre mid on defend has take fewer risks on. And these three, the centre mid on attack, the shadow striker and the advanced forward, all have standard instructions. Now getting into the nitty gritty of the tactic, I start on positive. Balance you'd probably be able to get away with. For the attacking width, I've gone with fairly narrow. Now to begin with, I thought fairly wide would actually be the way to go. But just tinkering around with it, fairly narrow seemed to be better, so I can't really go against what worked. Then approach to play, we play it out of defense. Obviously it makes sense, we don't want to be going long out of defense, we want to just be playing it out into that midfield. With passing directness, we go shorter. With the tempo, we go lower. This is again because to make a good defensive tactic, realistically the only way to do it is to hold the ball a lot and be patient when you have it. And then for the final third, we want to get the ball into the box and be doing these low crosses, so these cutbacks a lot of the time. And this is why I think fairly narrow was actually the way to go, and I think this is why it ended up working. It wasn't an observation I made at first, but having the wingers being narrower so they can play those cutbacks from within the box, I believe that might be why fairly narrow is better. Now coming into the in transition, I don't have a counter press or regroup on, mainly because I found with a counter press and the higher lines I was originally playing, we got caught with those balls in behind a lot, and playing with regroup, your players don't make enough of an attempt to win back the ball. With counter, we don't want our players flying up the pitch when we're taking quite a slow approach to play, and hold shape, we do still want to get players forward. Goalkeeper in possession, I have slowed down the pace because again, as I keep saying, this is basically just a possession system. For distribution, just any of the back four, we just roll it out. And then for the out of possession, the only thing I touched was the defensive width being a bit narrower. I started off with this higher and pressing a bit more, but we just seem to concede way more goals in over the top, which makes sense that you'd push the line up. Whereas going back to standard and the trigger press on slightly more often, it's not like you're sitting back in like a deep block, they're coming at you over and over again. You will still make an attempt to press the ball and win it back, but it also stops getting caught in behind so much. Something I do want to show you is if you're chasing a game, because you're never going to create a load of chances with this system, it's just to do this. It's take it off, play out of defense, go to slightly shorter and a higher tempo, play into space, work the ball into the box off, and then press, counter, distribute quickly. And then also you can push the lines up as well, press more often. Those are the things I do if I'm chasing a goal and the game's getting quite late on. Now, it is important to mention, while using this tactic, I would just simulate a lot of the games. If I had managed every game individually, all like 46 of them, we probably would have better results. Because every game I'd be micromanaging. Well, not micromanaging so much, but if we're chasing, I'd make us go more attacking. Whereas I don't believe the AI would do that when I'm simulating them using this tactic. Now, if we come to the schedule here, and I've just set on championship games, you look here, there's a lot of 0-0s. And normally, if I was managing the game instead of simulating them, when it's 0-0, 75th minute, I'd always go more attacking and I'd chase that goal. It's important to mention that assuming that you're managing your games when using this tactic, that you should know, okay, like it's late on, we're either drawing or we're chasing we're chasing the game. I can just slide it up a bit, go a bit more direct, play into the space, higher lines and everything. It's just, I think it's important that, I mentioned that. Okay, so I'm going to show off a match using the tactic, but before I do that, I'm going to remind you that only this many people are subscribed. So if you want to get these tactics videos when they come out, as well as the rebuilds I'm also doing, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Anyway, enjoy the playtest. Okay, so you may notice I've got a different shirt on. That's because I did the playtest yesterday, but the audio wasn't recording. Therefore, I'm doing it again today. So I've just played a few games into the season, got the familiarity up, and now we're going to play this game against Hull. So essentially, why this tactic is so good defensively is just because the aim of it is not to give the ball away and to be reliable in possession. Oh, good effort by Wolf. So yeah, by being reliable in possession and not really giving the ball away much, the opponent's going to struggle to score because you need the football to score. And as you can see here, we're getting no highlights. Or a corner by Manning. Put in. Oh, close there. And Matt Grimes has lost it. Well done, Matt. Hull looking to counter here. They've got the ball out wide. Into Tom Huddleston. Back to Lewis Potter. Puts the ball across and Hull have scored. That is their second shot of the game. The match I decide to show you, Hull score their second shot. Well, that was a brilliant example of what I'm doing. Can he get the ball centered? He goes back. Ball into Wolf. Oh, Wolf goes close. Now I'm going to keep it on this until about the 70th minute and then show you what I'd do to go more attacking when you're chasing a game. Now, a corner to Hull City. And Fisher doesn't really want to catch the football, does he? Oh my God, what have we just conceded? I mean, yeah, I'm sure the XG's just spiked off that because they've had about 20 shots to score one goal. I don't really know what I've just seen. So obviously, the change I'd do to go more attacking is put it on attacking. Passing directness standard. Tempo slightly higher or higher. I'd have pass into space, not work the ball into box. Then I'd counter press and counter, distribute quickly. Then I'd step my lines up one and press a lot more often. That's what I'd do when chasing a game. I mean, I don't know how Hull have got 2 goals, if I'm honest. I've seen a nonsense there. Ball over the top, played in. He gets there first, round the keeper, 2-1. Game back on. Now, maybe we could get a highlight at the end here. Oh, it doesn't look too likely. I think that's all she wrote. So probably not the best play test to show you, but we won on XG. And if you look at like the graph here, they just made 2 big chances. And outside of that, they've really had nothing all game. Again, this is probably the best defensive tactic I've ever made. 29 clean sheets in a season. Like I've never got close to that, even using like the best side in the league. So if you were looking for a good defensive tactic, here it is. Thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.